Hi, my name's Adrian. I am recording the newborn teaching, and today is 1/26/2021. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name's Adrian. I'm going to be working with you today.
Okay.
I heard you just had him.
Yes.
About 14 days out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 weeks.
So today I'm going to be going over some ways to check temperature. I know a lot of parents are nervous and they take temperatures, they're worried about the temps. So I'm going to go gather my supplies. I have a pamphlet for you, and then also I'm going to show you some of the different
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm a first mom.
Yeah.
First mother, or whatever they call it.
Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go over this. What do you know about temperatures?
I know the normal temperatures for like an adult.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I feel like I got so much teaching in the hospital that like
it's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
So usually right after birth, they'll check the temperature, respirations, pulse, but they really won't check the blood pressure. But temperature is really important just because a lot of times temperature, an increase or decrease could indicate an infection or something's going on.
Okay.
So first, we're going to talk about the normal temperature range. So the normal temperature range is 97 degrees, or Fahrenheit degrees, or whatever, to 100.4. In general, anything over 100.4 is when they start to worry.
Okay.
But I put this on here because depending on the route that you go, there's different temperature ranges. So they can be like 1 degree below, 1 degree higher. So typically, whenever Jacob was born, they did rectum temperature. It's the most accurate. It's the core temperature.
Okay.
That's the normal range, 97.9 to 100.4.
Okay.
And then let me show you. I also have examples of, and I'll let you try it out. Okay, so this is a rectal temperature probe.
Okay.
So that's the normal, and then by mouth, which you see all the time when you come to the doctors, the normal is 95.9 to 99.5. Depending on how old we have, this is a new digital one, but then they also, some hospitals will have these old style ones where you just take it out and put it around. And then with the armpit, a lot of times they'll just use these oral ones and you can change it to the armpit region. The normal temperature for an armpit region is 97.8 to 99.5. And then lastly, or one more. Then we have the ear. And so have you seen one of these before? Okay, so you just turn it on. The normal for that is 96.4 to 100.4. Also, they came out with these new ones. It's
COVID.
Yeah, it's to scan the head. It's a temporal type. So you've seen these before.
Yep.
Do you have any questions about this page? I know it's a lot of information. Okay, so like I said, there's different types of thermometers. Many people in households will just have the regular digital and they'll just do oral. So we have the digital thermometers, the tympanic, which is the ear, and that's this one, and then the temporal, which this isn't really a temporal, but semi the same, Have you, the temporal ones you touch and go behind the ear? Yeah. So there are things called digital pacifier thermometers, and then fever strips, but according to pediatrics, they don't really suggest that. It's not as accurate. So if you see those, I would suggest just buying like a digital thermometer, because being new, I don't know if you're breastfeeding or if you're not. I mean, they're prone to infections and.
That shocks me that the digital pacifier one wouldn't be right. Yeah, I don't have one, but my mom was gonna get us one.
Yeah, I'd just be careful with it.
Yeah, no, well, we didn't get one anyways, but you would think that they would, that's a really good idea. You would think that they would.
That it would work good. So that's the thermometers, and then also you could just buy the probes at the store. I mean, since it's just him using it, but if you guys were, the whole household was using it, I would use the probes. So there are some safety tips, and the best thermometer really depends on the age and the condition of the child. So for Jacob, he's birthed at 3 months, so they suggest using a regular digital thermometer to take a rectal temperature.
Okay.
If you don't feel comfortable performing a rectal temperature on your, because it's gonna make Jacob fussy, you could do an oral. It is just hard because with an oral you want to get under the tongue. They have to keep it under there for so long. So, new research though suggests that a temporal thermometer might also be accurate in newborns. So maybe it'd be best to have just a digital thermometer and then a temporal one, and you can buy both of those over the counter at the store. So when Jacob reaches 3 months to 4 years, this age range, they use digital thermometers to take a rectal or armpit temperature. So the rectal I would not suggest, you know, but the digital and the temporal is still good. However, wait until your baby's at least 6 months old to use the tympanic, the ear one. So you don't want to use that one just yet.
Okay. Is that just because of the development of the ear?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they also suggest, when in doubt, if you get a weird reading on like so let's say you have the temporal and the digital, you get a weird reading, go ahead and take a rectal.
Okay.
I know it's really, a lot of people are uncomfortable, but yeah. And then 4 years and older, by the age of 4, most kids can hold a digital thermometer. So, you know, just have them
do the oral.
Yeah, take it out.
For the rectal one, do you use anything prior to inserting it?
No, you don't. Like, you can lube it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Okay.
Yeah, you could put some lube on it, but I'm like, if you're using any rectal medication.
Oh, no.
Don't do that.
Okay.
But yeah, I would suggest lubing it.
Okay.
It's not very pretty.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna go over how to take a temperature with each route. So we're not gonna actually do all of these. The one we'll probably do is the oral and the armpit, just because I don't want to upset Jacob with the rectal.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go over the rectal. So let me get my rectal temperature or thermometer. So to do this, we're gonna turn on the digital thermometer. And then this is where you lubricate. They suggest the petroleum jelly, something like that. You're gonna lay your baby or child on his back, lift the thighs, and insert the lubricated thermometer. They say 1/2 inch to 1 inch, or 1.3 to 2.5 centimeters. I would suggest just going by the inches. It's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You can place your child, like if you want to place them on your belly, you can also do that.
On your belly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. But put their head against his or her lower back to hold the child in place. Never try to force the rectal thermometer. If it does not go, we don't want to force it. There's something going on. We don't want to cause trauma in the rectum. And then, of course, just like any other temperature taking, when you're in the rectum and you're taking the temperature, you want to hold it until it beeps.
Okay.
And then, of course, read. Any questions on rectal?
No.
Okay. So now we're going to go to oral. Same concept. So we have both of these. Most likely you'll have this one at home. So same concept. You want to turn on the digital thermometer and then place the thermometer under the child's tongue towards the back of the mouth. And then with a newborn, it is hard to ask him to keep his mouth closed, but if you could assist in it, you know.
Okay.
And then remove it when it's done. If you fed Jacob within like 15 minutes, I would wait 15 to 30 minutes because it'll be inaccurate.
Right.
So, do you want to try it? Sure. So we're gonna get your temperature. He's so good.
All right, 96.4.
Okay. Okay. So I think you got that. I'm just gonna go over the rest. I won't make you demonstrate. Okay. So now we have the armpit. That's just right under the arm. So you can use the same thermometer, the digital thermometer. When you place the thermometer under the child's armpit, make sure that it touches skin. A lot of people struggle with, hold on, this is going off.
Just putting it in between the clothes.
Yep, and you don't get the accurate skin reading. While the device is reading your child's temperature, they suggest like hugging your child, keeping them on the side, making sure that that thermometer stays in place and you have that good skin to skin.
Okay.
And then, like any other thermometer, wait for it to beep, and you have it.
Okay.
Now we have the ear, the tympanic, which we don't do until after 6 months. So with this thermometer, I don't see a lot of households have it. Like, I think a lot more households have the digital. But with this one, you can buy this over the counter as well. You want to turn on the thermometer. Many times it'll come with a probe that you'll place over. If not, if it's just a family one or, then it's okay. Gently place the thermometer in the child's ear, follow directions with the thermometer, and then make sure that when you remove it, you're not just like ripping it out. You're like gently removing. Okay. And then we have, which I don't have an example, but kind of like this one, we have the temporal temperature. So this is probably the simplest. You turn it on, gently sweep into the back of the ear. Make sure that you remain like skin to skin contact.
Okay.
Any questions on those?
Nope.
Okay. So, so if you check Jacob's temperature, and let's say that you get a high temperature. Okay. Some things that you want to ensure is that you contact the pediatrician. So a lot of times a fever, parents will freak out and go, oh my gosh, my child has a fever. Well, if your child is still eating, drinking, regular behavior, sleeping well, then usually the fever is not treated. But if it consists and behaviorals change, they're not eating well, sleeping, then that would suggest, go see the physician. So a lot of times a fever is associated with infection. So I listed some infection signs in a newborn. So if they have a lot of crying, irritability, if they're very sleepy, any breathing problems, like you notice they're retracting, and then of course an unstable temperature or any nausea or vomiting. Okay. So let's say Jacob does have a fever. He's not in the age range to get Tylenol or ibuprofen, but at the age of 6 months, if he does have a fever and it persists, you can give him Tylenol or ibuprofen. Make sure that you read the label correctly, which I know you will. If he's younger than 6 months, they suggest not giving Tylenol, and really the suggestion is go see your pediatrician, and then they'll address that. Below, I placed the office number. You can just give us a call if you have any questions. And then I'm going to give this to you as well. These are 2 resources that I really, really like. It just basically is this pamphlet, but it goes into more detail about taking temperature. So if you ever feel unsure, you can just go to those websites. Okay. I gave you 2 of those, and these are just references. So do you have any questions?
Nope, I think we got it, don't we, Jacob?
Okay, let me put my stuff up, and then I will be back. I'll let the doctor know that I'm done, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.